Hello, I'm Charly and today I'm going to be doing a book talk for Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So I'm literally in a leotard for this book talk because I wanted to match the book a bit, and I was going to do some sort of fancy makeup, but it's like 7 PM and I'm not going anywhere, so I couldn't be bothered. But I did my hair in plaits, and I think this is the first time that I've ever had my hair up in a video on YouTube. So Illuminae is a young adult science fiction book, and it's going to be a series. I'm not sure if it's going to be a trilogy or a series, but it's definitely going to be a series of some sort. And it's very uniquely formatted. It's told in like a case file, so it's got like emails, text messages, video, I don't know what you call it, but someone like putting a video surveillance thing into writing and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard to explain what it's about. I went into it pretty blindly, and I think that's a good way to go about it. So if you'd like to go into this book blindly, I will leave an annotation right here where my hand is, and you can click that and it'll skip over my summary and just go straight to the rest of the review. So basically this is about a sort of a war. It's like at the start of the book, we're on Carenza, which is a planet. There's lots of planets and people live on all these different planets, but the planet Carenza has like an illegal mining thing going on that they're not allowed to be mining there, and that whole settlement is there and they're all illegally mining, and this company called Baytech finds out about this, and they like declare war on Carenza, but they just attack Carenza out of nowhere, so everyone is fleeing and they're boarding ships. And on this particular day, our main characters, Katie and Ezra, have just broken up. Katie has broken up with Ezra, and then it's kind of a bit of an awkward situation because Katie ends up rescuing Ezra in her car and they escape together. So that's basically where our plot kicks off, and that's all I'm going to tell you. So I ended up giving this book a 4.75 out of 5 stars. And I'm going to tell you what I liked about this book and what I didn't like about this book. So what I really loved about this book is just how fast-paced it is. It just, like the way that it's laid out, it just makes it so fast-paced, and it's just, like a lot of the pages they've got things like this happening, and I don't want you to look at it for too long in case it's a spoiler and things like that. And so it is kind of really quick to get through, and a lot of it's like text messages and IMs and stuff like that, which is just short little messages, so that's really quick to get through. But I still felt like this was a really well fleshed out book. Like, it was so well thought out, and obviously so much time and planning would have gone into this book with all of the formatting. Also, the twists in this book, you like don't see them coming, and they shock you. Like the first twist in this book that happened, I literally like stopped reading and was like, I just sat there like that and was like, nope, 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 and then was in denial for the rest of the book. I also really love the characters. They're so unique, and none of the characters are one-dimensional, and there's also like quite a lot of characters, and I feel like they're all explored as much as they should be. I also didn't get mixed up between characters. A lot of the time, if there's lots of characters, either I get mixed up and just get confused, or they're not all well fleshed out enough. So this just did characters really well, and also the setting of space. I just love sci-fi so much. So if you guys know any good sci-fi, leave comments down below, because I really love sci-fi and I don't read enough of it. This book is also so much funnier than I thought it would be. I hadn't heard anyone say that it was funny, and I just love humor in books. Like this, it was just so funny. I was like laughing out loud. Some of the sass that Ezra has, oh man. This book is also quite scary. There's some elements of this book that I haven't told you about, but it is just so frightening to think about, and just the way that some of the things are written in this book. If you've read it, you maybe know what I'm talking about, but just some of the way that some of the things are written is just, it like genuinely creeped me out. And young adult books kind of, I find that they sometimes skirt around some of those like scarier topics, but this like genuinely scared me quite a bit, and I don't get scared easily. So the one thing that I didn't like about this book that made me take just that 0.25 of a star off was that I did get kind of confused at some points. I really was trying to pay attention, but there was just some things that I got confused with. and it was like I wasn't sure if I had missed something or not, but then I wasn't confused for the whole book. It was just like around here-ish, probably about that mark there, or a bit earlier. I was just a little bit confused. And also some of the spaceship talk kind of went right over my head. Like some of the things were kind of intentionally not explained because it was kind of, I don't know, they just chucked a lot of words in there that I was like, please explain this, because I've read The Martian, and if you guys have read The Martian, you know that that kind of explains all the science, which I really enjoy. Some people don't enjoy that. So, like, you might be fine with it, but some of the, just, like, they would use, like, these spaceship terms that I just wouldn't, I'd be like, what does that mean? Hold on, I think I have some written down. I'll give you an example. The grid. They use the grid a lot, and I don't know what the grid is. The DGS solutions are backed up. What? But then occasionally some of the science things were, like, really well explained, but I just like to know the science, okay? I enjoy science, so I want to know about it. I can handle it, okay? So that is all for the non-spoilery section. If you have not yet read this book, then you should leave now, because I'm going to go into some more spoilery discussion of this book. So bye for now if you have not yet read this book. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. You've all read it, haven't you? Alright, so I just have my little piece of paper here. It has writing on both sides, and it is full. So I really loved Ezra's sass in this book so much. So this is when Ezra was doing the interview and they were like asking about Katie and stuff, and Ezra's like, that's so not your business. It almost punches clean past the event horizon of not your business and becomes your business again. And then later on in this interview, Ezra is like, okay, well, for the benefit of the sight impaired, I am now raising my, oh dear, yes, it's my middle finger at Mr. Postgrad here. I also have written down here, stop calling him chum, Ezra. If I was him, I would have kicked your ass by now, mate. Ezra just kept calling everyone freaking chum, and I just found it so funny, but he just kept doing it, and like, who uses the word chum? No one. I think the funniest parts of this book was Ezra and McNulty, their interactions. It was just so good, and it just made it so much sadder when he died. Like, McNulty is like, shipboard security have master access to all areas, chum. I know where you lay thee down. And he's like, you will wake up one night to feel a pair of slightly sweaty somethings tickling your pretty boy chin. And I died at that. I am serious, Mason. This is not a drill. This is when McNulty, I don't know how to say it, but he wanted Ezra to send a picture of Katie. And Ezra's like, if I do send, and then I find a hard copy of this pinned to the ceiling above your bunk, I will cut your slightly sweaty somethings off and flush them out an airlock. I solemnly swear I will not engage in happy pants while looking at pics of your would-be ex-girlfriend chum. And then later on in this conversation, McNulty's like, bad news is I'm typing this one-handed, and Mason's like, God no, think I'm getting the hang of it, stop, one more minute, stop. On page 139 there's a surveillance footage summary, and it says this is about Ezra, and it's like, he looks like he's about to blow breakfast all over the inside of his helmet. Green as a fucking blade of grass, I swear. I really enjoyed the virus stuff in this book. Let me know what you guys thought of the virus stuff, because that like terrified me, man. Like, imagine, I've never thought of this, but like, imagine being stuck on a freaking spaceship and there's just this deadly virus breaking out. Like, God, that would be so bad, and they were literally like zombies. Like, oh man, nah, that was just so scary. Page 166, this situation was freaking terrifying to me. This was like when all the children were killed, and it was like 11 males, 9 females, children through to middle age, and they were like stripped to the skin, twisted on the floor in some kind of pattern, and then they looked at the pattern from like above, and it says 2 words spelled out on the floor in cold naked meat, help us. Oh, that is like so scary. Seriously, just the way this book is written, cold naked meat, it's just, oh, it just makes me uncomfortable. Ezra finding out that McNulty died was just so sad. His reaction, he just, oh, he's like his best friend, and it was just so sad. I really loved the mother-daughter relationship in this, and oh man, I just knew, I knew that something was up, because Katie kept on like avoiding the topic of her mum, and I was like, man, yep, something's happened. I thought she was dead. She wasn't. She got transferred to the other ship, and then Katie like couldn't get to the other ship. I have written here, OMG, please let Mama Grant be alive. I found this hilarious, this email that's like in a love heart. I had written down on my notes, Shakespeare, is that you? So this is from when Aiden first got put back on, and man, I was so scared of that happening. Like the artificial intelligence theme in this book, it was just like, it was so scary. Like that and the virus thing were just terrifying, like man. But they like literally had no other option, and that's just so terrifying. If you have no other option but to put a computer in control, then shit's fucked, my friend. Like this first page here, is this the first page? Yeah, this is like the first page of him turning on, and I was already scared of him. Like, just the stuff he says, it's got all this error stuff. I question mark, I am not, error, and then I am, freestyle, error. I wonder if that was death, and if I was dead, am I now alive again? Incongruous sequence, what is not alive cannot die, I think therefore I am. Am I? I am the ship, and the ship is I. If I breathed, I would sigh, I would scream, I would cry. That line that he keeps using, if I breathed, I would sigh, I would scream, I would cry. That's just like, that freaking line haunts me, I swear. And all his am I not merciful bullshit, no, you are not merciful. I couldn't decide how I felt about Aiden because, like, obviously he did all these weird things and I just don't know, like, does he have some sort of issue, or is that actually just how he was programmed, and then he kind of like learnt on top of his programming, and then his programming is still like there because he's like technically protecting them by killing all those infected people on the, well, I don't remember what the ship was called, the Copernicus, that one, but I just don't know how I felt, and it was just so weird how he like sort of had feelings coming for Katie. That was really weird. So for page 420, which is when we find out that Ezra is not actually Ezra, he's Aiden, I have this written down. I'll get fucked, page 420. I froze. What the fuck? I don't know what to believe. Fuck this. And that basically summarizes what I have to say about that, except that whole time I was like pretty certain that he wasn't dead. Like I was pretty certain, except I never suspected that that was not Ezra, but it all made sense. Like, and that whole time I thought that Aiden maybe was just saying that to get Katie to come, and like maybe that was Ezra, but then Aiden said that, but then it was like the whole anniversary thing, and it all, like I have it all, like my realizations written down. It's like, oh, OMG, the fucking anniversary, of course, but still, please let this all be a lie. Oh fuck, the detailed portrait. What I think with this formatting and what I said about like the science things going over my head, I feel like some actual drawings of this whole grid thing, actual drawings of control panels would have been good. Like they had the diagrams of the ships, which were good, but they could have put more diagrams in there, I feel like. The pages around here are like the coolest pages. This one is like atoms split, and it just shows how like atoms split in a nuclear bomb, and I just like, that all made sense to me, and it has like the little key here, and this is like one of the science things that I really appreciated, and I wish they kind of had more of this sort of stuff in there. And then the next one, this is just like space, and then there it says brief suns light the night, and I really, really love that. And then, and the Lincoln burns, and it's just, oh, it was so cool. So at the end, I was really confused. I was like, so Ezra's mum is part of Baytech, and then I like I got that, because that's, and then I didn't like, had no idea what this whole Illuminae, who is Illuminae, the whole book. I was like, okay, cool, but who's telling us this story? Who has compiled these files? Are we going to find out? And then we find out it's Katie, and I was like, why would she send them to Baytech? And then I figured out it's just to show off, just to be like, yeah, I'm this badass that I can just send it to you and not be scared of you knowing what I'm about to do. And oh, I just have no idea where this series is going to go, and I'm so excited. So that is all for this book talk. I hope you enjoyed it. Please discuss with me down below. I love discussing books in the comments, and let me know like what your favorite parts were. Did you agree with anything that I said? Yeah, just discuss with me in the comments. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!